What's going on YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and yes, we are back with another Hot 10 list. This week's list has some pretty cool bucks on it, a few that I haven't seen on this list or any list for a while, and stuff that I think it is really overpriced right now. So before we get started, like always, I want you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me if you are not currently a subscriber of the channel and you're watching this video, of course. I want you to go ahead and hit that like button for me because that does help the channel out, lets people out there know what I've been putting out, hopefully some good stuff, and most importantly, comment down below. Let me know what you think of this list, if you own any of the books, what your prices you paid for them, if you'd be staying away, buying, all the good stuff like that. I haven't done that many videos as of late. I'm pumping out maybe one a week. Maybe around the middle of November, my schedule will clear up a bit and I'll start putting out some more stuff. I got some great ideas to go over with you guys in the near future. But let's jump right into the list this week. At number 10, it is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 100, the anniversary issue. Really cool black cover, Amazing Spider-Man. I own this book. I picked it up a few years back for cheap. But now, CGC 6.5 sold last week for $292, just shy of the $300 mark. That is actually up 10% this year, which is not a crazy amount. Now, like I said, I own this book. I would want to own this book, but I'm not shelling out $300 for it. It seems like a high value for this book. That's really not a key issue outside of it being an anniversary issue. So again, I would love to add it to the collection, but I'm not paying $300 for it, that's for sure. At number 9 this week is a copy of Fantastic Four number 4, the first Silver Age appearance of the Submariner. I just heard some news that we may be seeing a young or possibly, not sure of age Submariner in the Eternals movie. Not sure how accurate that is, but either way, a CGC 1.8 recently sold last week for $2,377, which is actually up 24% since last August. So that if you purchased this book just over a year ago, you're up 25% on your investment, which I think is awesome. This is a book I'd always buy right now. The first actual appearance of the Submariner is probably super rare, not affordable by many out there. But either way, this is a nice alternative and still a nice, beautiful yellow Silver Age key. Again, another plus. I'd always be buying this book if I could find it for a decent grade and a decent price. Something I'd always want to have. I personally do not have a copy of this book in my collection, but I'd love to add one. At number 8 this week is a copy of The Cat number 1. I have no idea why this book is on this list this week. As you're going to see some other books, same thing. This is actually the first appearance and origin of the Cat, and a CGC 8.0 recently sold last week for $260, up 30% since last August, which is also a nice gain if you bought this book about a year ago. Again, a nice high grade 8.0 for $260. Not sure I'm going to spend that much on this book, but I would like to add it to the collection if I can find it for a decent price. Again, I think $260 is too high. If we could stay around $150, I'd definitely add it because you never know what will happen in the future, and it's still an affordable key in my opinion. So yes, this is a thumbs up for me, guys. At number 7 this week is a copy of Avengers number 52. This is when the Black Panther joins the Avengers. Now, I'm not sure why this book is spiking all of a sudden. We saw Black Panther in the MCU already, joining the Avengers. I don't know if it's maybe because the mantle is about to be passed and whoever the new Black Panther is going to be is going to join the Avengers. No idea. Either way, a CGC 8.5 recently sold last week for $220, up 22% since December of last year. Now, again, this is a book I would really like to own. However, I'm not shelling out $220 for it. If I could find a lower grade copy, I'd be all right picking it up. But again, not something I'm seeking out right now, so I probably will stay away from it at this point. At number 6 this week is a copy of Avengers number 16. This is when the Hawkeye, Quicksilver, and the Scarlet Witch join the Avengers. So you can see some of these lesser keys starting to get runs now that these other bigger books have kind of popped and kind of just keep going up in price. Some of the other stuff is kind of popping now because this is what people are going to go to once they can't afford these, first appearance copies of these books. So either way, CGC 6.0 recently sold for $323 last week, up 42% since 2019. Now, again, you're almost up 50% on your money in just over 2 years. Again, not bad, cool book to have, but I'm not going to shell out $300 for this book. I'd rather put that $300 toward the first appearance of these characters. I know that they are a fortune right now, but just keep saving. We just talked about 2 books that I said I would not buy. That's about $600 you've saved without buying this book. I'd probably save that money up and see if I could find the first appearance. And when I get there, I'd probably snatch it or wait for a dip. Either way, not going to add this one right here, guys. At number 5 this week is a copy of Fantastic Four number 66, The Origin of Him Who Later Goes On to Become Adam Warlock. Now, we've talked about the trio of books that make up the first appearance of Adam Warlock. It is Thor 165, Fantastic Four 67, and Marvel Premiere number 1. I would be a buyer of all of those 3 books before I buy the first Origin of Him, which is Fantastic Four number 66. So those are the 3 I'd be buying ahead of this book. With that said, the CGC 6.0 recently sold last week for $186, which is up 16% since April of this year. Now, again, another book I'd really like to add to the collection, but I'm going to shell out a lot of money. I'm going to put the money toward a Thor 165. That, to me, is the money book for this character. It's when you actually see him out of the cocoon. It's not named Adam Warlock yet. Either way, I'd rather have that book. It is a nice Silver Age key. The origin is cool, but again, I'd rather put my money toward the first appearance out of the cocoon. Again, we've talked about these books ad nauseum. That's what I'd be buying. Not that I would stay away from FF66. I just probably put my money elsewhere if I can. At number 4 this week is a copy of Fantastic Four Annual number 1, The Origin of the Fantastic Four Retold. Now, this is a cool alternative to have if you can't buy a Fantastic Four number 1. I really do think this is a really cool copy out there, and I definitely would add it to the collection if it wasn't so expensive. A CGC 4.0 recently sold for $456, which is crazily up 55% since February of this year, which is a really great investment if you bought this book back when. Again, another book I'd like to own, but I'm not shelling out $500 for this book. Again, another book I'd rather save my money and put towards an actual first appearance, a cool retelling of this Fantastic Four origin. But again, if you want to read that, just pick up like a Marvel Milestone, stuff like that. I'm not going to shell out that kind of money for a origin retold type of thing. If you can get it for cheap, and when I say cheap, I'm talking about under $100, which is probably not possible, I'd probably stay away from it, guys. At number 3 this week is one of my all-time favorite Amazing Spider-Man keys, Amazing Spider-Man number 4, the first appearance of the Sandman. Now, again, this is a nice red copy, early Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man. You see those 4 boxes. It's really unique for a Silver Age Spider-Man book or any book for that time period, which makes it unique. CGC 5.0 recently sold last week for $2,880, up 29% since May of this year. This is also the first appearance of Betty Bryant, by the way, for any Amazing Spider-Man fans out there. I've been hunting for a second copy of this book, and it is really taken off to the point where I really don't think I'm going to be able to snatch another one up. Again, would I be buying this book for $3,000? Probably not, but there are 2.0s, 2.5s out there you can have under $2,000 right now. We're talking about $1,400, $1,500 in that range. I'd definitely be buying this book before Spider-Man No Way Home shows up. We've already seen images possibly of the Sandman in the trailer and of course in the leaks. If you guys haven't seen those, check those out, search the internet, I'm sure you will find them. Again, definitely a book I would add at any point because any Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man key is guaranteed to go up in value over time. If you're looking to make a quick buck, not sure what's going to happen, but again, if you want to hold on to these books for years upon years, there's always no better an investment than Amazing Spider-Man Silver Age keys, guys. At number 2 this week is a copy of Avengers number 71. This is when the Black Knight joins the Avengers. Now, again, I've talked about the Black Knight over the past couple of weeks to months. I am probably gonna buy this book over the first appearance of the third Black Knight, right? That's Dane Whitman when he takes on the mantle. CGC 9.2 recently sold for copy number 71 for $650, up 67% since June of this year, and that is quite a hike. Again, I'm not going to spend $650 for the point where he joins the Avengers. I'm not going to knock it, however, because, again, if he does end up coming in the Eternals and then he does go on to join the Avengers like everybody thinks, this book will pop. But again, if I'm going to shell out that much money, you can buy the first appearance of Dane Whitman or the first appearance of him as the Black Knight for probably about the same amount of money, just in a lower grade. So I'd be probably putting the money towards that if I would, instead of putting it towards the first time he joins the Avengers. So that's my opinion on this, guys. You take it for what it's worth. And at the top spot this week is a copy of Daredevil number 2. Now, again, another second appearance. This is the second appearance of Daredevil, but it was also the second appearance of Electro. Believe it or not, guys, I have been hunting this book down for a better part of 2 years, and I just think it's really overpriced in my opinion, but I love this cover. The reds, the yellows, the greens really pop, and I always thought this is one of my favorite Silver Age covers especially Daredevil, and now you have the second appearance Electro, which is I'm a huge fan of. A CGC 4.0 recently sold this week for $640, up 42% since May of this year. Now again, that is quite a bit of money. I am definitely not shelling out $640 for this book, but I have seen this book go in lower grades for a lot cheaper. If you guys could find them out there, I would definitely pick them up. Again, I'm not shelling out $700. If you could spend maybe about half that, I would definitely like to own it. It is a double second appearance book, and again, I'm not a second appearance collector, but because I love this cover so much, I really want to get it if I can find one for a decent price. So with that said, guys, that is the top 10 for this week. Not a lot of bangers on this list. As we go forward every week in comics, I'm not sure we're going to get too many major keys that are going to appear on this list because they're really pricing themselves out of the market right now. I believe I just saw somebody pay like $39,000 for an AF-15, a 1.5 or a 1.8, which is to me is absolutely astronomical. I'm not saying it's not worth it, but that is a lot of money to spend. So the more and more these lists goes on, the more I think we're going to get smaller books, smaller keys, and see how they pop with other people not being able to afford the big blue chip grails that are now, you know, going up in price because of everything going comic haywire. So that's it for this list. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching this video, guys. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I will talk to you guys soon.